So the day is finally here and the Miata is getting properly lowered. If y'all didn't know, this is the second time I'm installing coilovers on the Miata in like the last 2 weeks. Because the last time I installed coilovers, basically I got sent out coilovers for free from Max Speeding Rods and I put them on and the fronts got absolutely dumped. And then the rears were complete monster truck. So then I picked up some GodSpeed coilovers. I'll grab them in a second so I can show y'all. Automatically, the quality feels ridiculously better, or way better. Even the rear coilover, just visually, it's way shorter than these rear coilovers. So I think the ride height's gonna be mint today. Hopefully the ride quality is even better. I was surprised with the Max Speeding Rods. They actually ride really good, but these GodSpeed should be even better. So let me go grab the GodSpeeds real quick. Actually, before I grab the coils, let me show y'all the current ride height. So that's the ride height of the Miata. It is kind of raked right now. This used to be on the ground. Like the fronts used to be on the ground, but I ended up raising it up about 1.5 to 2 inches just so I could drive it around town while I was waiting on these new coils. But yeah, that rear ride height, that is actually the lowest that these coilovers go. So fully maxed out, and that is the ride height. So yeah, hopefully today we can close up this wheel gap. I don't want to slam it. I don't even know if I'm gonna tuck any tire, but basically I just want to get rid of the wheel gap completely and then maybe leave like a half-inch gap between the tire and the fender. But we'll see how I'm feeling whenever we install them. Also, excuse my voice and my low energy. It is currently about 8:40 in the morning. God damn! But y'all gonna see me. I'm gonna wake up throughout this video. Let me go and grab these coilovers. Well, that was awkward. So yeah, I actually popped these open last night so I could look at them.
But what the hell, boy?
So I popped them open last night just so I could look at them, but here they are. This rear strut is significantly smaller than the Max Speeding Rods that we have in the back right now. So I'm pretty confident this is gonna drop down the ride height to where I want it. They are also way heavier. The welds are way cleaner, but like the biggest thing is the weight. They're like 3 times heavier than those Max Speeding Rods. Anyways, W Godspeed. I'm glad I picked those up. I forgot. Let me show y'all. When I was ordering these coils off Coilover Depot, I was basically asking the guy some questions, and he was like, you know what? If you order them right now, I'll send you out some coilover sleeves for free too. So I got some coilover sleeves, which I'll probably end up using, because why not? Shout out Coilover Depot. Also, like I mentioned earlier, I did install coilovers on this car like less than 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago. And when I installed those coilovers, I put a full video on YouTube showing y'all every single step on how to install coilovers. So if y'all want a tutorial, go check out that video. If y'all want to see the Miata finally get dumped, this is the video for you. I'm gonna do one side at a time, so I'm gonna do like the driver and passenger at one time. Whenever I've got it jacked up and I've got the wheels off, I'll give y'all like a quick rundown on how to do it, like just show you like do this. But if you want like the step-by-step tutorial, make sure you check out the video. I think it was like the last video I posted, or maybe 2 videos ago. So go check that out. That tutorial is very helpful, and I show y'all like all the little quirks and little tips on how to get these installed quickly. Let's knock this out, and I'm hoping it's like less than a 2-hour install. Let's keep our fingers crossed. All right, so 30-second guide on how to install coilovers on this car. For the fronts, you're gonna have to drop the A-arm. So take out that bolt, and then the A-arm's gonna come loose. That just creates more space for you to take this strut out. There's one bottom nut, if I can find it. Yeah, right there. That nut right there is the bottom nut that is going to take off the bottom of the coilover. And then as far as the top coilover, there's just 3 strut mount bolts. So you just take off these 3 bolts, take off this little brace, and then the whole coilover will come out. You can slide it out. I'll show y'all me taking out the coilover once I get all the bolts out. Something worth mentioning, before there was a strut brace. That went from there to there, and it mounted up here and here. But with the coilovers, this dampening knob gets in the way of the strut brace, so I'm not able to run that right now. I'm gonna have to drill a hole in the strut brace, that way I can reinstall that. But for now, I'm just running no strut brace. And the car, it feels surprisingly good still. You know, I don't really notice it's missing, to be honest. All right, now as far as the rear coilover, this is kind of a weird setup. So you see that 1 bolt back there, 1 bolt there, and then I don't know if you can see it, but yeah, you can. That little That little metal, that's a bolt coming from the bottom. So most coilovers, it's just 3 bolts on the top. This one is actually a bolt from the bottom. So it's not something that's gonna like mess up your install, but just worth mentioning. Now, as far as getting out the rear coilover, there's of course the bottom nut, which is behind this coilover. It's really simple. There's a lot of space back here, so you can literally get an impact face this way, get that bottom nut out easy. And then you also have to take, you gotta take down both these control arms. So number 1, number 2, I think I took this one off from the bottom, and I think I took this one off from here, like both the arms that are closer to me. This just allows the entire brake assembly to drop lower, which makes it easier to wiggle out that rear coilover. But let me take out the bolts on the front and the back, and I'll show y'all me pulling out the coils. That way y'all can see how difficult it is to like maneuver those out. So about 5-10 minutes later, I took off all those bolts, including this A-arm that I was telling y'all about. And the front strut is basically ready to come out. It's just getting caught on the top dampening knob. So I'm trying to think what the best way to do this is. Okay, it does flex down. So I'm just gonna have to step on it while I let this coilover out. That should have unlocked it. Now it's just a wiggling game for a little bit. And there we go. The old max speeding rod is out.
Okay.
Had to record a little clip for TikTok and Instagram. My fault. Ignore that. But yeah, now it's just redoing everything we did, but we're gonna put the new coilover back in. So pretty simple. Also, it's starting to drizzle. It wasn't supposed to rain this morning, but I should have expected that. That's tragic. So I thought I'd show y'all this. And basically, I'm twisting this lower collar on to set the ride height, and that's where it maxes out. So the coilover doesn't spin into the lower part of the coil any lower than that. So this is technically the lowest ride height. To be honest, you can just lower these perches, take out some preload, and that'll get to like sag a little bit lower. But it looks like this is the lowest it gets without like having to take out preload. But let me show y'all something. Accord, Civic, look amazing. But. Comparing these, so that is like the maxed out GodSpeed opposed to like what the max speeding rod looked like with like a 1.5 inch wheel gap. It looks like it's about like 2 inches shorter. So it should actually be like 2 inches lower than we're currently sitting at. I'm hoping it's perfect. Please! Please! And just like that, the front coilover is in. Everything went very smooth, exactly what I said, the same bolts I said. Nothing extra came up, and yeah, just very smooth overall. Also, that looks pretty low. That looks pretty low. I'm excited to see what that looks like with the wheel on it. Let's take off the rear coilover now. I already explained how to take off this rear coil earlier in the video, so I'm not gonna explain it again. Let me just get this thing off, and I'll update you when we're actually pulling it off the car. All right, I've got the rear coil pulled off now, and comparing it to the max speeding rod, comparing it to the GodSpeed has a way taller top hat, which should allow for more suspension travel, which means it's gonna ride better. And the GodSpeed looks like it's pretty much maxed out. I'm gonna see if I can get it lower than that. But as far as the difference from that to that, and then that to that, it looks like about 1.5 inches, maybe 2 inches, also lower. I'm really hoping these get low enough. I'm not even gonna overthink it. I'm just gonna throw it on the car, and let's see how low it is. I'll be right back. Actually, I lied. I thought it was fully maxed out, but it looks like if I raise those top collars, it looks like these rear struts actually fully maxed out. So no thread left. This sticker right here says the preload is set from factory, so I'm not even going to touch the preload. But yeah, it looks like the ride height can max out. So let's see how low this gets when I actually throw it on the car. All right, I'm about to drop the jack. Let's see what we're working with. I'm honestly scared because it's like the same as the max speeding rods. The fronts look really low, but then I'm not sure if that rear is going to drop anymore. I'm not even worried about the fronts. I know that'll be low enough. I'm just going to point at the rear and let's drop the jack and let's see. If it stays that height, I'm at a loss. I really hope it drops lower than that. Okay. Okay, so yeah, okay, never mind. I take back what I said, that's perfect. The front is too low, to be honest. It's still kind of raked. I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna lift up the fronts like less than 1 inch, just so it matches that rear. Oh, that's money. Hopefully it settles like, maybe like 1/2 inch more. And then also, y'all already know, I've got new wheels already that are much wider. So once I get those wider wheels put on, the fitment's gonna be super tight. So I'm very happy with that, actually. And it should go a little bit lower over the next couple days. But I'm gonna raise up that front. That way it's matched, and then we'll throw on the other side. Let's raise the front. Give me 1 sec. I've said it in the past, and I'll say it again. I hate spanner wrenches. You know, only if there was a suspension that just like filled up with air to lift it up. You know, if only that was a thing. That would just be so genius. Bag the world, yo. Honestly, just kidding. Coilovers definitely go better on some cars. But let's see if that was enough lift. Y'all saw how much I raised that up. That was I would say that's about like 3/4 of an inch if I'm not mistaken. But let's see, because I don't want to go too high. I want to keep it looking low, but I just don't want it to be lopsided. Maybe we'll go just a couple twists more. All right, so from the bottom of the bottom perch to the, let's say like that white rubber bump stop under the spring, that's like 4, 1, 2, 3. It's like 4 and then 3.5 of these dashes. What are these dashes? That's not centimeters, right?
Dude, you're a genius.
Before 0.3.5.
Genius.
Let me just raise up the other front strut to its exact height before it's even on the car. All right, and then just like that, we're about 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. We're like at 4.4. Which should be okay, since this is the driver's side and this is where I sit most of the time, so that little bit of extra weight should make up for that millimeter. If not, I can always just adjust it after. But this front coilover is set to the other front coilover height. This is set to maxed out in the rear. Let me put the car off the jacks and let's see if the front looks good now. All right, y'all keep y'all's fingers crossed, because if I take this car off the jacks right now and the ride height is relatively even, I'm done with this side, and then we're just gonna do the next side, install. And since they're already preset height, we should be done really soon, but let's see. The fronts are still a little bit lower. You know what? I'm gonna leave it like that. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it like that. Give it a little bit of rake, and then hopefully the rear settle a bit. I'll probably end up raising that in a day or two, but you know, right now I'm just too lazy. So that's what we're gonna sit like. Let me get the other side installed. And honestly, when I install the other side, this rear might drop down just a tiny bit more, make it a little bit more even. I don't know, I'm just trying to cope. Let me throw the other side on. Bro, I don't know if y'all can tell, but the car is leaning. Bro, the GodSpeed's got so much lower than the max speeding rods. I'm so happy with that. Just as a reminder, this is what it looked like before. That was the rear wheel gap fully maxed out. And then this is the front wheel gap. So yeah, that was the before ride height. And then let me hop over to the other side after ride height. It looks way better. And I think it'll settle a little bit more too, because coilovers don't settle too much, but these max speeding rods, even they settled probably like, honestly, they probably settled like a 1/4 inch, but even that would look kind of sick. So I'm not gonna film anything installing the other side unless something crazy pops up, because like I said, this is not a tutorial. I filmed a tutorial 2-3 weeks ago, so watch that if you want to. But y'all give me a little bit. I'm gonna install the other side of the coilovers. We're gonna take it off the jack, and then let's go on a drive, and we're gonna test out these GodSpeeds and see how they ride compared to the max speeding rods, which were surprisingly good. So when I first put the coils on, the driver's side front gave me a lot of issues, and again, it gave me a lot of issues. Let me show y'all what I was dealing with. So basically, I loosened up all the bolts and I couldn't get the strut to come out. As you can see, look at all those scratches and everything. Basically, last time I had to loosen the sway bar end link to make enough space. But whenever I was taking these off, both the bolts were just freely spinning. And if y'all know OEM sway bar end links, it's just a pain because there's no nut on this side. So it's like, it's hard to grip. I was even using vice grips and I couldn't get it. But eventually, what I did, if I can find it, where did I put the coil? Is that it? Basically, yeah, this is it. Basically what I did is while the coil was still on the car, I shortened it to the smallest the coilover could get, and then I was able to wiggle it out. So instead of taking off the sway bar end links, I shortened the coil to max height, and then it was enough space to come out. But my sway bar end links, those are still like half on there, and I can't tighten them, I can't loosen them, because now they're like stripped and they're just freely spinning. And like I said, even with the vice grips, it's not working. So I'm gonna just keep on going with this install. I'm gonna try to tighten up those sway bar end links to the best of my ability, but we might be getting some clunking noising. You want clunking noises out of the front. I'm gonna try to tighten it up. I'll keep y'all updated. Let me continue this install. So from the start of this video, it's been like 2.5 hours. Honestly, this driver front side, if it wasn't for this driver front, I'd be done like an hour ago. I've been fighting it. First off, getting that strut out was a pain, and then secondly, that sway bar end link was a pain, but I just got it tightened back up. So let me just put this last wheel back on. We're gonna take the car off the jack, and then I think we're ready for a test drive. It should be all set. I ended up getting the sway bar end link re-tightened with I just jacked up the suspension a bit, and then I put a crowbar in between there, and it was just a bunch of BS. But basically, I just put as much tension on it as possible so it wouldn't free spin, and then I just used like a handheld wrench And one twist at a time, it definitely tightened back up. The bottom is still, I think, a tiny bit loose. So if there's clunking from the front, that's exactly what it is. But I'm done. Let's put the wheel back on and let's drive it. All right, we're all finished up. This is the final reveal. So as long as I drop this car off the jacks and it's even with the other side, I'm done for the day. And then we'll go on a test drive and I'll show y'all what it looks like. I already put away all my tools, so I really hope it matches. Let's see. Yep, I think that's it. The front is still slightly lower, but that's okay because even on this side, the front is still slightly lower. But I think that's even side to side. So it's time for a test drive. Let's finally get in the car after a couple hours of work, and we can enjoy it now. Just found this on the ground. And it is the bolt that holds on that sensor bracket on the front. I'd probably be fine without it, but I do want it in there, and if I don't put it in right now, I'm never going to. So let me put this in there, and then we'll go on a test drive. Right when I thought I was done. Right when I thought I was finished. All right, so we got that part back on. It's time to officially take it for a test drive. So the install itself, it went smooth. Nothing went wrong besides that sway bar and link. So I'm just hoping. I'm hoping that front driver's side doesn't clunk. Because if there's no clunking from the front driver's side, that should be the only place where it's possible there's a clunk. Let's just test drive it. Let's just see let's see what we're working with. My jack's in the way, I gotta move that. Oh my, it is so hot today, bro. If y'all live in Charlotte, North Carolina, not only is it hot, but it's humid. It's painful out here, for real. All right, the moment of truth. We're moving the car for the first time. Quiet so far, down the driveway. I don't know if that was a scrape or a suspension noise. I'm just gonna ignore that for now.
Okay.
It actually, so I thought the max beating rods felt good. These feel a million times better, actually. This made the car feel, much newer. Like the car feels like 5-10 years newer right now. I'm getting noises, but I don't know if I'm just being paranoid because I just put on new suspension. I think that's what it is. I think it's just normal road noise. Dude, these ride like butter. It feels like a stock 2024 Civic. Like I don't know if I'm doing a good job explaining it, but it just doesn't feel aftermarket whatsoever. I didn't even adjust the dampening at all, so I don't know. It's just out of the box dampening settings. But as far as the softness and the ride quality, it feels like a stock brand new car. It doesn't even feel lowered, honestly. All right, we're getting out onto some real roads now. This car is so slow, but it's so fun. Dude, it feels very, very good. I was impressed with the max beating rods, but these are like, it makes the max beating rods feel like max beating rods, honestly. These feel very, very nice. It takes the bumps very well too. This is a pretty bumpy road I'm on right now, and it's absorbing them like they're not even there. I'm going around bumps, I'm going around turns. This is a bump right here. It's like you probably couldn't even see it on camera because it's so smooth. Very happy with these GodSpeeds so far. Super bumpy road. I'm hitting them at like 55, 60, and it just feels like it's not even there. Like literally the best way I can describe it is it made the car feel newer. The suspension feels newer, it feels softer, it rebounds nicer, it takes all the bumps better. I just took a pretty sharp turn and I heard a super loud clunk in the back. But also I think my tire air pump is in the trunk. So I'm hoping that's what it is. As soon as I park, I'm gonna get in there and I'm gonna check on it, but I'm hoping it's my tire air pump, because otherwise it literally sounded like a coil just popped out. All right, let's check the trunk real quick. Okay, thank God. It was the air pump. Perfect. I'm glad. I'm just gonna go ahead and move this up front. That way it stops scaring me. We should be good now. And let me give y'all a walk around, man. It looks really good. The height is honestly beautiful. I think when I put the new wheels on, I might have to lift up the fronts just like a 1/4 inch. Because like I said, the Hondas are meant to be low. This car is not meant to be low. I want this car to be like a functional weekend car. So it's like, I don't want to scrape. I don't want it to drag and rub. So I'm going to go just real functional. I just clipped the seatbelt in the door. But regardless, that looks fantastic. I'm so glad to finally have the rears low. For like 2-3 weeks, I've just been looking at this car completely raked. The seatbelt is bugging me. But yeah, overall, I'm super, super happy with that. The fronts are slightly tuck and tire. And the rears just have like, not even wheel gap. Honestly, that's pretty flush. I might just raise the fronts just to match the rear, because I really don't see a wheel gap there, especially when we go with the wider wheels too. We honestly might have been rubbed with how low that is currently. But yeah, first impressions, they ride amazing. They're super comfortable, super nice. I didn't hear any crazy clunking or anything besides that air pump, so I should be good as far as clunk noises. But you know what? I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna drop the top, I'm gonna go drive it for a while, I'm gonna enjoy it. I'm gonna do a bunch of tests. And honestly, after I let the suspension settle for a couple days, I'll probably make another video just kind of checking back in with y'all and kind of giving y'all like my 1 week impressions on these coilovers and tell you if I run into any issues or anything then. Because any issues I'm gonna run into, I doubt they're gonna come up this quick. It probably will take some time. You know, I probably gotta drive on it a bit, hit some bumps, and that's when things are gonna start coming up. If they come up, but I hope they don't come up. But in the meantime, I appreciate y'all watching. I'm so happy to finally get this car one stage closer to the giveaway. Yeah, if y'all didn't know, this car is a giveaway car. I don't even think I mentioned that. So yeah, make sure you follow me everywhere. Chain 2.0 T or Common Traffic Mafia, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. That way you can keep up to date on this giveaway, because once this car is built, once I have it sitting beautiful, we're giving it away. And that car is less than 40,000 miles if y'all didn't know. It's like a brand new, it's like a mint Miata for real. But seriously, I appreciate y'all watching this video. I hope y'all enjoyed. I hope it was entertaining. I hope it was helpful. I hope it wasn't a waste of your time. Make sure you drop a like, comment, and a sub on your boy. I'm gonna keep on going. I've been very consistent on YouTube. I'm gonna keep on being consistent on here. I got more Accord videos, I got Civic videos coming, and I got more Miata videos coming. A lot of new YouTube videos on the way. So make sure you drop a sub. I appreciate y'all watching. I'll see y'all very soon. And until next time, CTM for life and peace out for now.